Now, I know I don't know these people. I'm just a fan looking from an astrological point. But I really wish Cardi's son was a Sagittarius. I was hoping he was going to be mutable. Because mutable would have meant that, you know, they would have given her that space. You see how her last two children were mutable? Blossom and Wave, they're Virgos. That's why she was like, you know, I could do this by myself. I'm free. Nothing can hold me. I'm just going to have to figure out my own. I'm going to have to be adaptable, flexible. And I know that the father, who's mutable as well, Offset, is just on his own time, living away. And if you do have mutable children, Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, where do you feel like you've had a sense of freedom in raising your child? Even you being a mutable parent, as well, where do you feel like you, especially if you don't want too much control coming from the father or too much of his input, why having mutable children has been an ease for that. Now, when you have fixed children, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, it can be so hard for you to separate from the father, especially if you want to. It can be so hard for you to separate from the mother, even if you want to. Because it means that this fixed child has created a fixation, a controlling dynamic to the relationship, obsessive dynamic to the relationship, that you can feel like it's the hardest to sever ties. And when I saw that she had her baby and he was a Scorpio, I was like, oh my God, he has taken on all of what his mother and the environment was experiencing into his sign. Because if you're going to attach to Scorpio, sexual shames, which she was, strong relationship drama, which she was in. She was hustling like crazy. She dropped an album, hustling mode, money, resources, stability on 10. Still in a midst of just, you know, trying to figure out her own shadow work, her own depths, what it means to dive into her femininity, her sacral chakra again. So this might even be one of her one and only's last, because just having a fixed child, this is showing that, you know, this did have a strong reproductive process for her. So it's just something about this pregnancy and the delivery process that just was really specific on, you know, when her next one will be. And just even how this child came about, super plutonic. And how, you know, reproductive conversation, how her sacral chakra, her womb was the topic of this whole year with having the Scorpio child. But it's also showing, you know, a lot of what everyone was saying about her, and about if this is the right choice, is just all the things that they were saying when it came to more the heavier conversations and the not so nice commentary about it, is showing on the child's sun sign. That's not an easy sun sign for a child to have. And when you have that sun sign, you will have similar stories to what Cardi experienced through a parent. So if you are a Scorpio stellium, if you have Scorpio energy, Scorpio placement, just anything with plutonic in this way, you come from one of those things that I've listed: sexual shames, relationship drama woes, financial conversations, stability conversations on 100, a lot of shadow work coming from a parent, any type of controlling, domineering, or just merging extremely bonded type of energy with a parent, or between parents. So it was really, she really manifested the energy of this child throughout what's happening throughout the year. Because it could have came a little bit later, or it could have came a little bit earlier. So for the child to come in during a Scorpio season, it's really set the tone to what she's been experiencing. This is also another water sign, so why she's so even just looking at the reflective of culture being a water sign, and now this child being a water sign, and how they are the first of something. They stand out specifically in a certain way within Cardi in the relationship she's in at those times. Out of all the children, this energy sticks out. Culture stuck out too, because she was cardinal and her other siblings are immutable, but this one really sticks out. And it's just we already know why, but even the placements are showing why. This is a fixed water. So we have 2 earth immutables, 1 water cardinal. Now we have a fixed water, own of its kind. So, yep. Just wanted to share this video that, the way you are operating within your pregnancy, the way that it goes down within the pregnancy, within the merging of you and your partner, and the type of details of the situation, your child will embody that, and their sign will show it. The signs will show it. That's why Blossom is a Virgo, because Blossom is a mutable baby. So mutable energy was around her birth. Her and Cardi explains it. Her and Wave, there's a mutable energy around it. Culture is a cardinal, first water. So just even the basis of being the first granddaughter, first this, first that, so much of being first, and how she watched her mother do so many first time things. And now this youngest is a plutonic water, fixed. Little guy is going to really stand out. Little guy is going to really feel different. Let's think about another fixed energy. Let's look at Dream Kardashian between China and Rob. The whole relationship was so platonic that the child came out platonic. So just looking at it even like that. So, and look, still to this day, with Dream, just the fighting, who owns her, who takes care of her, who's the real mom, who's really in her life, like back and forth between grandmas, like all types of stuff. Because it showed that's what's going on throughout the conception. So I gotta be really careful the type of energy you're having children. And I had my baby, and I have a Scorpio girl. And yes, the entire conception was very, very platonic. That's why she's a Scorpio stellium in the 12th house. Yeah. So, really wish she was mutable. I know this is not my baby. It's not my business. But I wish she was immutable, because this is going to be a tough one. She's going to be in an upward battle for a while. Just with how she wants to commit to Stefan, and on the way she wants to go dive deeper with him. And just even showing how there was other women pregnant. Scorpio stuff. Ask a fixed sign or ask a Scorpio if they, when they were being born, why there was other situations going on between their parents, commitment issues, typical Scorpio stuff. Typical stuff. So just wanted the energy to be fixed. Wanted it to be mutable, not necessarily fixed, because she's just gonna have still some issues going with Offset. He's not gonna want to let it go. He feels like this child is like, just with any type of malefic, any type of Mars, Pluto, Saturnian, Uranus, dominant child. This child's going to come in a way where it comes in as an underdog. It comes in as a, I have to prove myself type of energy. And it's going to be very important. She covers this child. She holds the child. She loves this child. Because maybe even his own siblings can even have a way with him, or how they want to treat him, because the energy is already a malefic. So, and anyone who has Aries, Scorpio, Capricorn, Aquarius in their family, or if you have it, where have you felt like you are the outsider, the underdog, the one that everyone points at in the family? So, she put a lot of pressure on this. Like, this child has a lot of pressure, and same thing I always say to my daughter. I put a lot of pressure on her very young. I wasn't as fully concerned or aware of the type of environments I was having a child in, or understanding the consequence of it. And till this day, me and my daughter and her father are just Scorpio, baby. And I wish the best for Cardi, because having a platonic child means that this is going to be a long fight, because someone is fixated on controlling the dynamic. There's already strong base of animosity and jealousy when you have a platonic child. That's why they are signs that are associated with jealousy and animosity, because that means they come from it. So any Scorpios out there, don't bring yourself down. Don't think that something's wrong with you. Don't think that you are terrible. You come from the drama, and that's why you may feel like your life is so important if you're getting away from the drama. Aries too. Love is love.